There is no hopeless area in your life. There is no area of your life that is beyond redemption. God chose us and said, I have set my gaze on you, daughter. It's a season of celebration. We have a reason to celebrate because Jesus Christ is born, not on 25th, but He came to this earth to show what love is. If you ask me what Jesus did on this earth, for me is to show what real love is. Where His own people want to, pinpoint at Him, where His own people were finding ways to say that this man is not right. Say what this man is doing is not at all right, And irrespective of all this, I've never seen Jesus telling anybody to hate that person. I've never seen Jesus telling anybody, say that, okay, now he had done something to you, now it's time for you to go and give it back. It's always, this is the Jesus that we serve. This is the Jesus that, we have to represent wherever we are. Yes? You with me? Yes. Are you with me? Yes. Today is a day that we as the world celebrates Christmas, it's really beautiful to celebrate Christmas, but we should not forget why we celebrate. The reason is Jesus that we celebrate. The reason is that we have Jesus in life. To know that I was supposed to be in certain situation, but He pulled me out. He gave me one more opportunity to live. How many can say that, He gave me another chance to live? I'm a testimony where God gave me another opportunity to live. When I turn back and think, I sometimes will be like very overwhelmed, embarrassed. And when I really think of what He has done for me, for what He changed, it is so beautiful. It's only because of Jesus coming into my life. It's only because of we allowing Jesus to take control over our life. That is the main reason that we celebrate Jesus. That's the main reason that we are responsible to share this love that we experience. Yes? Can we, I know we are in a Christmas season. Of course, we will, the word is also in the same pace. Can we turn our Bibles to Luke chapter 2? Okay, before that, can we go to Matthew chapter 1? For many who don't know how Jesus was born, we're going to learn that. Yes? You have any doubt? Jesus was born in Philadelphia. Do you believe? No? Somebody said yes. Okay, from verse 18. Matthew chapter 1, verse 18. This is how Jesus, the Messiah, was born. His mother, Mary, was engaged to be married to Joseph. But before the marriage took place, while she was still a virgin, she became pregnant through the power of the Holy Spirit. Joseph, to whom she was engaged, was a righteous man and did not want to disgrace her publicly. So he decided to break the engagement quietly. As he considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream. Joseph, son of David, the angel said, "Do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child within her was conceived by the Holy Spirit. And she will have a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. All of this occurred to fulfill the Lord's message through his prophet. Look, the virgin will conceive a child. She will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. When Joseph woke up, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded and took Mary as his wife. But he did not have any sexual relations with her until her son was born, and Joseph named him Jesus. Now you know where Jesus was born? Yes? Here is a story of the birth of Jesus. Here is a righteous man, Joseph. They're engaged, but they're not married still. And he see a dream where God is telling him, the angel is telling him, Mary is conceived. Talk to me. Yes. What did the angel tell Joseph? Child is conceived by the power of the Holy Spirit. Just imagine how this person would feel when he hear that, okay, they're still engaged. And this man want to publicly, since he's a nice man, he don't want to spoil Mary's name. And he was thinking, okay, now I think I should quietly move from this relationship. But here is the angel of the Lord telling him, no. So there's a Holy Spirit that she's conceived, and you have to name him Jesus. Yes, you're with me? Today we're going to learn a couple of interesting characters. I believe you would have heard a lot about them. Here is a king who want to kill this newborn, Jesus. Right after the story, Mary gives birth. Yes. And here is a king, he gets to know that there is somebody by name Jesus who's born, and he want to kill him. He's plotting, but he's very nice. If you can read Matthew chapter 2. It says, then Herod called for a private meeting with the wise men, and he learned from them the time when the star first appeared. Then he told them, go to Bethlehem and search carefully for the child, and when you find him, come back and tell me so that I can go and worship him too. Here is the king. He's telling them happily, but in his heart, he don't want to have another king coming. He gets to know there's another king coming. So he's telling this wise men, you have to go find where this newborn is. But his intention is different. But the beautiful part of the birth of Jesus is how much ever they wanted to hide it, how much ever they wanted to keep this information closed, the way it spread widely was so beautiful. Yes? There is shepherds coming in, and they are spreading this information everywhere. These wise men are so thrilled to see Jesus. And, the beautiful part of each one of our lives is, there was something that I've been, studying the last couple of weeks is, sometimes you will be hidden. Sometimes you will have to be in a place that you have to be hidden. But there will be a time where God will bring you out of that season. Sometimes the favor of God over your life is such, there is no need of you going and searching for things. There is no need of you running behind anything. There may be a person thinking, okay, this person is going to be a competitor. He's going to stand competition. But God knows how to preserve you. God knows how to keep you safe from every plan of the enemy. Here is a King Herod. He is getting to know that there is somebody coming, and he is, sometimes, I don't know, have you seen in your office or in your workplace or wherever you are, they know if you are going to be promoted. They will come and tell you, wow, nice. But back, they will plan things. They will pinpoint certain emails and saying, see, this is not right. They will say this person's behavior is not right. So and so what he is doing is not right. But God knows how to preserve you. God knows how to keep you away from the Herod who is planning to kill you, who's planning to destroy what has already given birth to. The favor of God is such over our life that you will be preserved. You will not have to go behind something to, say that, okay, this is done. It will come searching for you. It will come looking for you. No matter what enemy is trying to plan behind you, planning to bring things in such a way it's looking, you don't see any complication or seriousness behind it. But the way God spoke to Joseph, God used to tell Joseph, so there is a plan like this happening. They are planning to kill. There is the king has ordered. So now it is time for you to move from here to another place. Yes, it is time for you to leave this place and go to Egypt. God is telling us, God will give you instructions, right instruction at the right time, what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. If it is the time somebody is coming behind you to plot against you, God will, at the right time, He will tell you, no, now you have to move from here. Now this is not the place that you have to stand. You have to leave this place and move to another place. And God will give you an exact time when to come back. You with me? Understanding your times and season is very important. Understanding where you have to be in a particular time, where you have to be associated is very important. Yes? You with me? Here is a king plotting against to kill Jesus, to kill this king that everybody is saying. Have you follow football? You follow football? I don't know if you're preparing for a competition. Back in then, I used to play football. So, you have this rivalry. People will come and tell you, the opposite team members will come and tell you, I'll break your leg one day before. I don't know if you played football, no? Yes? Anybody who played football who can testify? Yes? I can see at the back few people. It's just a competition, to know that you are a main player. And they will say, I know where you stay. And yes, it's a truth. You guys are laughing. Women, I don't know what do you guys play and you have competition. Okay. So, they will come and they will taunt you. They will say, I will going to hit your leg. Then I will injure you. But why he's saying. You know that he knows that you have something more than that he has. That he knows that if you go ahead, you will score a goal. Yes? If you know that you're defending, I was a defender. So they were scared of me because I was tall. Even now I'm tall, but because I will not allow them to go. So they will be like, I will break your leg. And they plan all the ideas. You don't know how we sit and plan on a board who is going to play in which position, how you're going to move, how you're going to tackle him. But then I realized, man, they're saying because they're scared. It's not because that, they're going to do it. It's because they are scared. The thing is, enemy is scared of us. Enemy is scared that, there is something this person is doing. He's putting a lot of effort. He's working so hard to get this out. But somebody in meanwhile come and say, tell you, this is not right. But there will be people who come to steal your blessing. There will be instances where people want to know what you're doing, why you're doing, and they're not happy about it. If they're happy about it, it's a different story. But when they're not happy about it, is when you allow space for fear to take over you. You give that room of space, saying that, okay, now he's trying to say something. I cannot do this. Have you been in that place? He will say that, okay, I'm not able to do it. He's elder to me. He's saying that. But you don't realize, we don't realize, staying back to the thing, why did he say that? Something that we have to learn is to measure the words of people that is communicating with you. Even in your workplace, you have to measure why they are saying certain things. Why is a person, talking in a certain way? Understanding what is the intention behind that word, that sentence, that line. Sometimes when we give room to that is when we allow fear to take over our life. When we allow them to plot against you. You will hear a news about you, I think maybe around 200 kilometers away, and you're scared. You're really scared. You really don't know what to do. But something that I want to tell you is God is preserving us. God is preserving you from every plans of the enemy. No matter however, even it can come the person can be very sweet, the person can be very aggressive, but God is preserving you. God is keeping you aside. At the right time, He will bring you. I don't know if you observe, all through this month, we've been hearing this. As the favor of the Lord locates you, you cannot be in a same place, same situation. When God brings you out of a situation, you will stand out. You will stand out. This is a time for you to understand that God is preserving you something very beautiful ahead. There is no need of you to fear that Herod is planning against me. That you don't need to give that space of even a small fear to allow saying that, okay, you don't need to say that I cannot do it anymore because you are preserved. I'm here to tell you that you are preserved. You are very, very carefully hold. They say wrap. Now I know how to wrap a baby. They enjoy that. I don't know how many parents here. All the fathers at the back are laughing at me. They enjoy that comfort. They enjoy the warmth of your body. Now I can so relate when we say that, Lord, wrap me. That's a beautiful feeling. They feel so warm. They feel so comforted. God is comforting you. God is bringing you, no matter what is happening outside, don't allow fear within you. Don't allow fear. You don't have to, think too much about a small thing. Anytime, one thing I would really encourage is, anytime somebody says something and you are scared, just stay back and think, why did they say that? Not to be angry at the person, but say why. Measure the way. How many of you know that there's frequency that we speak? You can say, hey. There's a lot of difference when you say hey. Sorry, I want you to understand what I'm trying to say. It is important for you to measure everybody. I'm not saying that, we have this Pentecostal people who come to church. First they see top to bottom. If there's a white shirt, if there is black pant, if there is black shoes, your beard is clean. No, I'm not saying in that way of measuring, but listen what the person is speaking. And understand what you're doing first. Know why is the person saying certain thing. Is it just to pull you down? Is it just to, saying that what you're doing is right? Okay. Anytime that you find there is somebody like this planning or thinking, take a step back. Say, thank you. I like what you said, but you don't have to allow that space. You don't have to allow. Even the person would have sent 3-4 spies to know what you're doing. It is time for us to know that you are preserved. Every plans and every ideas that you are working this season, you are preserved. 2023 is very, very special for each one of us. It's going to be very special. One thing I think I'm again saying this is a word again. Many people who have been hidden, you're going to shine bright. You're going to shine bright. I want to use this word. Many will be jealous of what you carry. Many will be jealous to see the way God is going to use, the magnitude God is going to use you. Not only in church or in your community, wherever you go, you will stand out. You will stand out. So whatever the season that you are preserving, whatever that you are so intentional, it's a new thing that you have started. You don't have to think that, okay, somebody will come and snatch because you are preserved. You have so preserved. You have been wrapped so close. Amen. So enjoy the Lord this season. Enjoy the Lord, what God has already begun in your life. No matter what it is, go back today and ask the Lord, is there anything that I'm allowing fear? Even if it is your future, even if it is any decision that you want to do, if there is any word that is spoken which is scaring you, if there is any word that people have spoken over your life saying that you cannot do certain things. I don't know how your parents were, but there are parents that I've heard, they will only say, hey, you cannot do it. You're of only this age. How can you think of this? If there is even that word, it is time for you to say that, no, I will come out. I can do beyond what I am capable to do. That is something that you and I have to realize. God will not give us something which you cannot bring result or you cannot fulfill. God has entrusted you because He trusts you. Because He knows that you are capable of doing it. He knows that even though you may not have a complete idea, but He knows that you will do the best. Trust me, if God is giving Neha something in her hand, He trusts her 100%. I may not trust her fully. Imagine I give her, what do you want? Something very expensive. I'll be still in my heart, I'll be thinking, oh, will she keep it safe? I think she can break it. But God trusts you 100%. When God gives you something, He knows that you will take care of it. He knows that you are capable to do it. But the place that we have to be careful is don't allow fear. Don't allow that thought of fear to even come in so that you get scared. You will not take a next step to fulfill that. You will not have that strength. How many of you have felt tomorrow you have an important meeting in office and already you know there are going to be a lot of fight and argument, and in the night you're sleeping with a lot of tension, tears in eyes, a lot of things running in your head. But God is telling you, you're preserved. You're kept very safe. You don't have to see Jesus. Jesus was not born in a very cute place. Understand that what God has given to your hand is very significant. As Jesus' birth is significant, everything that God has given to your hand is very significant. And He is preserving you. It is not your abilities, it is not our strength that we're able to do it. But He is preserving you in your workplace. In your business, He is the one who will bring business. He is the one who will take care of it. So nurture what God has given into your hand. Even if it's your children, nurture. Now, one thing that I enjoy is family. It's so beautiful. It's very beautiful. Every single day you have something to learn. Every single day it shows one or the other side of you. Parents, sorry, since I'm a father now, I have this lot of father emotion now. It's so beautiful. Not only fathers, it's a very beautiful thing that you understand that Man, I had this weakness. Sometimes when your baby is crying, yeah, and some point you're about to lose patience. You'll be like, you want to tell him, don't cry. But your tone of saying it, have to be very careful. Yes, parents, no? For me and all, they used to give beatings. So, how many of 90s born? Okay, I hope my mother, my father will not see this. I learned majority of my dance step because of my dad's beating. So I used to do all this. So we used to get beating from here till here. So we are already prepared. So my hands and all will be already going, and there will be one whole set of bamboo. And we were so naughty. I was not naughty. My brother was very naughty. Anytime he does something, he'll point at me. So I used to get beating. So what I'm trying to tell you is, this God that has trusted you, has complete belief in you. No matter the world believes you, no matter what your people, your family believes you, but God trusts you. This is one thing that I want you to keep in mind. He's preserving you for something very beautiful. No matter what Herod, no matter which boss, no matter who is planning against you, don't have to worry. Stay away from every fear and everything which is trying to scare you. Know that you are preserved. Know that your children, know that your job is preserved. You will not go back, but you will only grow higher and higher. Yeah. You are preserved. You are loved. And there is another group of people, shepherds. And I was thinking, why did God choose all of them? It is so interesting. I wish God could have chose somebody else, some high commissioner, some police officer. Tell me some big names. Prime Minister, okay, Chief Minister. But I really love the way the people who been chosen, like, wise men, shepherds. So this is my understanding, you can correct me after the service. Shepherds, taking care of a sheep is not easy. Yes? One will run here, one will go there, and there is a lot of humility that I believe God would have seen in them. This is my understanding, you can correct me. Because it is not easy for you to be a shepherd. Of course, you have to be tough sometime. You have to know what is happening with your sheep. You need to understand when they want to eat. A lot of things that you have to understand. If there is anybody have an experience, please to share. But there is something which I believe God has located them is because of their humility. Because of their humility. And these people are filled with so much joy and they want to share it everywhere. When you are filled with that amount of joy, you cannot contain it, right? You would really love to share. Tell me you won 1 crore rupee now. 1 crore is less now. Tell me 100 crore now. Yeah. You will be like jumping, dancing, right? Yeah. And you want to share it with everybody. Tell me you got a promotion. Tell me you have a newborn baby. You're very happy. You're very thrilled. You're not in a place to just stand. You want to run. You want to scream, shout. God has seen your humility. God has seen your humility. Your phase of being trained is over. It is time for you to train. It is time for you to bring. I know it is not much related to the context, but I've been reminded to tell you there are many leaders that God is raising in this house. People who are watching, many leaders God is raising up. You've been preserved for a very long time. You've been thinking, why I'm not been seen. It's good that you are not visible. Till this day, God had preserved you, so that there's another generation who will see the magnitude that God is going to use you. You have been corrected in every way. You allowed God to work in you. You allowed God to do a deep work in you. It is sometimes we clean a car. You clean outside, but you don't clean inside. But you allow God to work inside and outside. You allow God to do a deep work in you. Now it is time for you to come out. Now it is time for you to know that this was the season where God was training you. Anger was your issue. God taught you how to control your anger. You used to break down very soon. But here is God training you in that area. Eating was your problem. Eating unhealthy, whatever you want to eat, now you eat healthy. Yes? How many do that? I didn't prophesy. I was just... No, it's actually a serious problem. I don't know how many know gluttony is a problem. You eat excess. You just see food. Oh, food. Your heart, your everything will go for food. I was in that place. You get anything in the night, 12 in the night, 1 o'clock to eat. Get whatever you want to eat. But after eating, I cannot bend. My button is opening like this. I'm not able to breathe. I'm like, hallelujah. People think that I'm very spiritual, but I know my problem. That is also very important. You are not only taking care of your spiritual things, but also your physical thing. Sometimes few of us have to be reminded. God have to come and tell you, hey, don't eat pani puri pa. It's not good for health. There will be a dimension. See, if God has called you for a big ministry or traveling minister, you cannot be eating unhealthy and doing whatever you want, right? Yes? No? You need to have, even in your spiritually, you have to have control, you have to have even your physically. That is also very important. So I believe God was training you. You know your weakness, you know where you have been struggling. But I believe there was a set of people who have been trained. There was a set of shepherds who have been trained. Who I am very excited to see what God is doing in each one of our lives. In each one of our lives. Because I always hear the way that everybody is going to shine. Everybody is going to bring the best out. Is very, very beautiful. So don't allow fear. Fear is the biggest enemy that we are facing. Shyness is something that is few of us are facing. We shy out. We don't want to. We think shying is a pastor. I cannot. You think that is something, but no. God is reminding you to come out of the shyness. God is reminding you to say that, okay, enough of getting scared. You see two people coming in front of you, you'll be like scared, completely scared. You will just try, you want to just run away. But this is not a time for you to run away. Always understand that you have been preserved by the Lord. You have been not just called to be talking to 10 people, but you are called for many people, many nations, many leaders that you're going to train. This is a season for leaders to rise. This is a season for people who have been hidden to rise. As the birth of Jesus, as Jesus was born, there are things that already you know what you have started doing. You know what you have already started working in your life. Now it is time for you not to fear. Don't allow the space of fear to overtake your heart, your mind, or your life. Go ahead. Take the next step in faith. No matter what it is, take the next step in faith. This birth, Jesus was just not an infant, but he grew. He did what God, why he came here. That is important. Why was he sent? To do the will of his Father. It is important that you know that why you are doing certain thing, why you have been given this. If God has given you an amazing voice, that means God knows that, okay, you're going to write song. There are people, when you sing, they will be delivered, they will be healed. So it is time for you to know why. As I told you, it is important that you have to measure when people talk to you. It is important, always have this question of why. Why is God trusting me with this? Why did Pastor give me a responsibility to do this? That means there is something related to this. Understand if there is anything that you were passionate of doing, that you really wanted to get in and start doing something. Start understanding. That's where, we say we all have passion. Somebody, when you're small, you will be saying, I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be a sound engineer. I wanted to be a sound engineer. You have a lot of desire and passion. But down the lane, everything stopped. You said you want to start a business, but somebody said, hey, no, stock market is gone. There is no business anywhere. See, that uncle's shop is closed. There is no hope. You're paying this much rent. Why have you started a big office? But no. Have God told you that you will stop there? Have God told you that you cannot pursue certain dreams that He told you that He will fulfill in your life? Then why are you making a decision when people is coming and speaking into your life? Weigh the words. Understand why God has given it to you. Understand why I have been trusted with this. In this day where we celebrate the birth of Jesus, it is important that you celebrate what God has entrusted in your hand. I'm here to tell you, you've been preserved, but it is just you're scared to go ahead. You're bound with people's opinion. Even if I do this, what will uncle think? What will auntie think? What will their grandmother think? Yes? How many of you been there? Yes? That is what is holding you back. It is important that you understand what God has given me. He trusts me fully. Then why am I not trusting? Why am I not? I know that I don't have that much money to start this business. But if God has told me that He will give me a business, then He have to give, because it's his responsibility. It is not my responsibility. My thing is to find, okay, if God has told me to tell me a business. Jewelry. You research, what are the new fashions? I cannot wear the old jumki and sell it on, right? People don't need it. Of course, you can sell it, some grandmother or somebody will buy. But if you have to be with the pace, you have to understand what is the current trend, what is the market. If you're doing business, if I'm selling food, I need to understand what do they need, what is their taste. You need to study, you need to understand. But don't allow fear when you are in the time where God is preserving you. Don't allow that concept of people's opinion to rule over your life. Even if you forget anything today, I want you to remember that God has preserved you. This 1 year or the last couple of years, you've been pruned, you've been trained, you've been developing muscles. You are fit. How many of you, you ask people who go to gym, you cannot have this biceps big and this biceps small, right? How it looks. Just imagine my biceps is this big here and this is small here. It's a serious problem. It's not a problem, but it looks so, it's not proportionate. Now God has developed both your muscles. You have full muscles now. You have developed in strength. Your core strength is good. You're strong enough to face anything which comes ahead of you. So don't allow fear. Don't allow fear to take over you. The new birth, what God has given to your hand, it is time for you to take care of it. It is time for you to come out. It is time for you to know that Your time to shine is coming. Your time to stand out is coming.